Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and Justin from Stories from Motorsports, and today we have David Pintaric with us. Hey, how you doing?
Great, great. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah, Justin, where you at?
I'm in my bedroom like I always have right here in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, where are you at, David?
I'm in beautiful Youngstown, Ohio.
Nice, nice. What do those pictures behind you represent?
Uh, Momentous events in my racing background. There's some my win at Indy for the runoffs, my win at Daytona, at Trans Am, my pole at Watkins Glen. There's a picture of me going over turn two at Road America and the Viper when I used to run the Vipers. There's some neat events in my past.
Nice. So tell our followers a bit of what you're known for.
Well, I don't know. What am I known for?
You're known for your sports car career in Trans Am, right?
Well, that's just one aspect of my life. I've been running Trans Am since 2013, and I kind of we did a lot of club racing up until then, and then we ran the Viper ACRX series in 2012, and that almost put an end to my career, and maybe even almost end of my life. I had a big crash in Road America in May of 2012, and I don't know if you're familiar with the ACRX series, but there were 50 of these Viper ACRXs that were put together, and there's 49 left because I destroyed chassis number 43 in a very spectacular way. But we were looking at running the Pro Series, a Pro Series, and we considered two or three, the World Challenge, Old Grand Am, but I looked at Trans Am just because of the history and the nature of the cars. Big fast V8s, and they were pretty reasonable price to run at a price point, and we jumped into it. I've not had as much success as I'd like to have, but I have to understand that some of the people that I'm running against are, they do this for a living. So, as a gentleman racer, I think I've done pretty good.
Good to hear. What made you get into racing?
I always thought I was going to race when I was 20 years old. We all have these youthful fantasies of doing something like be a fireman or an astronaut or a professional athlete of some sort. And I thought I was going to be a race car driver. Reality hit in, and I didn't really have a real good path to it. Then I met this cute girl that eventually I convinced her to marry me, and I had to become an adult. And I kind of stayed away from the sport for a while, and then for my 40th birthday, I bought myself a 2002 Corvette Z06, and I drive it around on the street a little bit, and occasionally I would pick it up on the highway and go through the gears to up about 120 mile an hour. I realized I'm going to get in trouble. So I signed up for some NASA HPD events, and the car was very capable and more capable than me as a driver. But I was passing a lot of people in the groups that I was in, and I got bored. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go racing. And people around me thought I was a little crazy, jumping into a pool that I had no experience. But I met some people that that guided me through the baby steps I had to take in there. So 2003, I did my first driver school at Gingerman in a improved touring front drive Nissan that my brother actually owned, and we had rented the support through Kreider Racing, and that's what started the relationship between me and Kreider Racing. And I came home from that weekend. It was the first of two schools. And I thought something changed in my life. And it sounds crazy to talk like that, but now that I look back 20 years later, yeah, my life did change because I started down that path of racing and ended up buying the old style T1 Corvette from Joe Aquilani at Phoenix Performance, and went down that path. And we ran T1 Vets and T1 Vipers for quite a while. I was one of the pioneers of the old STO class that we actually won the runoffs in 2010 in a Viper that Kreider Racing put together. And in fact, I'm the only two time. It's only two people that won the runoffs in a Viper, and I'm one of them, so I'm kind of proud of that. And that class eventually was merged into GT2. And so about 2012, I decided, oh, let's try going pro racing, and that's why we chose Trans Am because of I don't know, just neat cars. And then I met Tony Ave, and he became one of my best friends over the years. But he gave me a lot of really good advice on how to navigate the series and all that stuff. And we keep on whittling at it, and I've gotten better, which is really cool because I understand I'm 61 years old in August. Most people at my age are starting to sit in a recliner and watch Archie Bunker reruns or something like that. And I'm still pushing to get better type of stuff. And I'm proud of the fact that I'm getting better. I'm driving better now than I ever did. And it's because of the people that I'm chasing that are making me better. And that's exciting for somebody that's starting to look like looking at old age pretty soon.
That's great, man. So tell us about your viral accident.
Well, we were at Road America, and I was in the Viper ACRX series. Um, the first race we had it was at Road Atlanta, and we were pleased. I was pleased to qualify second and finish second to a guy by the name of Ben Keating. I don't know if you know who Ben Keating is, but he was probably 4 or 5 years into his road racing career that ultimately, he's won Le Mans, so he's pretty skilled. And so we go up to Road America, which is my home track, or one of my favorite tracks, and I had success at the runoffs, like I said, and he out qualified me again, and I was mad. I went in the trailer, I was throwing helmets, and I was so pissed off to be out qualified. So, that's a bad thing to go into a race when you're mad and all that stuff. So the first lap, he gets a jump on me. I'm behind and I'm chasing him, and I just nail the throttle going through the carousel, and I never let it off. And a car went wide on the exit of the carousel. I tried to get it back on track, and the right rear wheel caught and rocketed me towards the inside cement barrier, and I catapulted 5 times in the air. I got knocked out, but I wasn't hurt. I was fortunate enough. I saw an in-car of Danica Patrick where she put her hands on her chest, and I pulled my feet up away from the floorboards, and I was just floating in the seat there. And the car landed. I talked to the safety crew 2 weeks after, a month afterwards, when I went up to the June sprints, and they said they got the call. They fully expected me to be killed. They didn't expect me to be alive. They got there. They didn't see any damage to me, so they go, "Driver, can you get out?" I go, "Yeah, I get out." And I crawled out. They put me on a cement wall and asked me 3 questions: my name, what I did for a living, and what happened. I told them the right name. I told them my profession. I told them I screwed up, and that's not the word I use, but this being let's be polite about it, I use a stronger word. And they has radioed and said, "This guy's fine." Car was destroyed. Most people, again, thought I was dead. And but I walked away, and 2 weeks later, I was at Nelson Ledges, our home track, testing another car, and a month later, I went up to June Sprint in another Viper and won the darn thing, and it felt pretty good. So I I stared that big crash in the eye and I walked away. I was very, very fortunate.
Yeah, for sure. Did you see what happened to Scott Burchetta?
I didn't. Scott's his race was on Sunday of the last weekend. My race was on Saturday. So my wife and I have one child who lives in Birmingham, Alabama. So we drove the 2.5 hours or so after my race to spend time with her and her husband. And so I only heard about it after the fact. I talked to friends of Scott. I really don't know Scott well, but I'm good friends with some good friends of his, and I was texting him and asking him what was going on, and they told me, and I told him to wish him well. Scott will be okay, but it's just a reminder. We racing has become much safer than it was years ago. and or 40 years ago, and it's still dangerous, and we have to respect it, and it's a reminder of that danger.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Our
I
hope
have to.
prayers our hopes and prayers go out to Scott Burchetta for sure.
Yeah, he's a tough
Yes.
cookie. He'll be back.
Yep.
So I have to know, did you see the NASCAR truck race at Texas, that business class they had yesterday during that race as you were driving? I don't know how how much NASCAR watching you do, but
Absolutely
did
not.
you?
Justin, I'm not a good spectator. I've never been to a NASCAR race. I've never been to an Indy car. Well, I was in an Indy car race in Mid Ohio in like '91 or '92. But I don't like watching people do stuff that I think I should be doing myself. So I something happened at the a cup race. I'm not aware of it.